Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back to another brand new video. And let's just get this over with, shall we? Alright, first, I'm going to have this for a minute and then I'll start talking. So, give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Alright, I'm just going to say something before we continue straight further. So, here we go. I'm just going to do that for a second and then I'll get right back to the point. So, alright, there we go. Anyways, hello everybody, welcome back to another brand new video, and it's time again here we go. It is time to get this started, and it's time to say is this, by the way, that here we go again, and once always again, that I will say this, is that it's finally time to do part 1 of Five Nights at Freddy's non-VR. And yes, it'll be Help Wanted, or should I say, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted non-VR. So before we do jump to the point and jump to the gun exactly and just get to the point exactly while doing part 1, is I do have an interesting announcement to say, is that I will be releasing part 1 on Tuesday, but next Tuesday on the 16th, that I'll be mentioning otherwise. That here's what I'm going to be mentioning my point. So why is that? Okay, so the reason why I'm saying is why would that be is because I'm going to mention this. Is that the only thing I'll ever say right now is that I will be releasing part 1 of Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted non-VR in part 1 of Tuesday the 16th. Because I know this might be a bit of an interesting good time to release it, which I know it might be a good time to release it. So for those out there right now that I want to say is that, people might say is like, oh, why are you wasting a bit of your time by actually not releasing the non-VR? Well, listen, my only point stands right now that I know I'm not releasing part 1 just yet, but I think I'm just giving myself a bit of time to extend the clock a little bit for me just to release it. Because I mean, once it does kind of release part 1 and 16 on Tuesday, then yes, I will be sure to be releasing it on Tuesday of the 16th. And I'll say is this, that I have probably been giving my time a little bit to think a little bit before I would be careful just to release when I can do that. And I know, like I said again, I'm actually excited as I myself am to be, that I am definitely honored to say is that I'm totally honored to play the first Help Wanted of Five Nights at Freddy's, which will still be non-VR, by the way, which I know I might have to still catch up with the Five Nights at Freddy's series, which I might still have to catch on for that a little bit, which I'm still trying to keep it a little bit more checked a little bit to keep it going for a while until further notice. So, for like I said again, we may never know what happens in part 1, but like I said, part 1 is going to take a lot longer to release in Tuesday of next Tuesday on the 16th, and I'll say is this, is that, well, the rest of the parts will be on 2026 right now, that a few will be in the few of those parts, by the way, of Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted non-VR will be in the rest of 2026. You know, the rest of those will be in 2026. That will be released in next year, which I will still try to focus on Christmas and then of next year, by the way, which I actually am still going to focus, by the way. So, like that being said, I actually will say this again, is that I'm going to be releasing the very only one I'm going to ever release of right now, that I might release this in pretty much the 16th of Tuesday, which, by the way, I actually am going to release it on Tuesday of part 1 as of right now. Unfortunately, that I might release it in part 1. So, as of right now, folks, I'm actually honored to say that I'm excited to work on part 1 and have it released by tell further notice to release it, and I hope you guys again are excited as I am, which I actually am excited to play part 1. And as of for Christmas, man, Christmas is going to get good. And I'll tell you guys this, that I think I'm going to have a very good Christmas, a very magical Christmas that I'm actually going to be loving so much to love it, to just give a good Christmas and just enjoy the usual stuff of Christmas like always and every time that I'm going to pretty much just enjoy about. So that's all I want to mention about. And unfortunately, yes, I will still mention through about the predictions of 2025, which I think that's going to be a bit of an early release of me releasing it. By the way, so I want to give you guys a bit of a conversation for this a little bit, and then I'll mention about the live stream on my phone. So here's what I'm going to say. As of right now, I want to be saying this right now of a conversation is that I will release my predictions of 2025 of how interesting the year was of 2025. I will release it on right now as of late. I will release it on pretty much to be on the 11th of Thursday. Yes. So once I do release it on Thursday, and of course the stream, by the way, I think technically will be on, for when I release the stream, I think that will probably be around the 12th. Yeah, I think it will be around the 12th of Friday. That I will definitely be doing a live stream on my phone. But just remember, by the way, I'm just trying to get a bit of a good angle with the stream. If it does stay at 100%, then it probably stays at 100%. So, want to give you guys a bit of a full reminder a little bit and say is that yes, I will definitely release the live stream soon enough to release it before I can release part 1 of Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted non-VR that I will release shortly. And as in for an explanation, as of right now, of the explanation that I will totally be talking about is what was my best moments of 2025 and what was kind of my worst moments of 2025 as of to celebrate the next new year of 2026 and a whole lot of interesting things coming around in 2026. But even if they stay the same, I know even if they stay the same, that's totally fine. I, again, actually will respect an opinion, which is totally fine. But if not, that's okay. I'm not here to judge or brag against anybody. I'm just here to have a conversation, an easy format of a conversation, and that's just settling to be done. So, anywho, I just want to say is that who is ready for Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted non-VR? And I'm sure as I'm excited too to play part 1 for the very first time, to definitely play it and have it done. Which, even though it does sound like it's the same coming back to every FNAF, most likely with every single time, is going to get good. It will might bring me a little bit of memories again, just to kind of face the animatronics again. It's going to be the same like FNAF 1, FNAF 2, FNAF 3, FNAF 4, and then maybe FNAF 5. I don't know. That's just a location apparently. But like I said, who knows, by the way, of what the challenges will be and what the challenges will unfortunately will take its place. And I'll have to face against Glitch Trap, which, I think it's going to be an interesting identity way I might fight him at some point. And we'll face against the Manipulator. I think he'll pretty much be a manipulator of manipulation, I guess, to face against a Glitch Trap, which, by the way, this will be interesting to ever face another animatronic, which is, of course, another Springtrap version of Glitch Trap, but a little bit more smarter than the rest of the other characters that haven't combined it against Glitch Trap. So that's just, I guess something might be something, I suppose. But as of for late and right now, that I'm actually going to say this, be on myself exactly and say for the first time ever that the second King of Five Nights at Freddy's is about to face a whole lot of new challenge and lots of new challenges. Even if the same characters come back again, then that's fine. Since the evil souls haven't caused any harm to any of the characters yet, which I don't think they're ever affected to any of that anymore, which that's still a good sign. But they still might try to attack me, which I'm still good friends with those characters for right now, as of for late, which I know that Glitch Trap will still be behind the new control. That is going to be something way new that Shadow Freddy couldn't have made. So that's all I can mention about, and that's all I can say as of the entire likely of what's going to happen. So anyway, that's all I want to talk about, and I'm so again excited to finally be playing the next chapter of the next series of Five Nights at Freddy's and continue my fervor. So, like that being said, and I'm let's freaking go, man. Let's just freaking go. So, anyway, I'm just so excited. to play the game. Like, I'm so again excited to play the game. So, anyway, that's all I want to talk about, and that's all I want to mention. And oh yes, before we do continue on further, is I want to say is that yeah, I think for me right now, I'd probably say this too. By the way, that I will still say this again, that you know, in 2025, I'm going to really mention this on Thursday on the 11th, which I might have time to be talking about that if I have the chance, which I will still do that currently, and likely more that I'll mention, by the way, of like what were my best moments of 2025, which I know it's going to be a long conversation all the way to the end of December, but like I said, hopefully by any reason that yes, Final Fantasy Help Wanted non VR will still be this year 2025 all the way to 2026, which apparently I can still definitely play the rest of the game while still doing so in 2026. But like I said, I definitely want to focus on Christmas and just kind of focus on how it's going to get good of like what's going to happen in the New Year's and when the New Year's hits down, by the way, or just says like Happy New Year's. Then that's all I can say. And oh, what's my reaction about the Super Bowl? Bro, the Super Bowl is going to be amazing. Seriously, I'm going to love the Super Bowl. Like, as long as Seahawks and Texans are up there, that's what I'm going to say is like, this may be a good time and a good shining to finally just have it in, man. Like, it's going to get good. Like, I have to believe myself that I'm actually going to be excited if they actually stay up there. But if not, I'm going to say is like, yeah, I'm not going to really care. Which, if they stay up there, that's awesome. But if they don't, well, I guess I'll say is like, well, maybe a bit of next time. But like I said, I may never give up my hope and faith yet for both teams. I just may never give up right now. But like I said, they're going to get to that Super Bowl no matter what they're going to do. I'm just going to be excited if they get up there, which I will still be excited and currently just have a bit of a good taste of the reaction and just enjoy it while they still can. So, anywho, I'll say is that as in for the 12th, by the way, I will be releasing a live stream on my phone soon that I may will release soon enough that I might release it and we'll still have a screenshot while actually getting to the point of it, and we'll definitely save it while I'm still going to do that, which it'll be saved on my phone directly that I will be saved. So as in for how the stream's going to go, that's when I'm going to save the stream, and then of course I might still do part 1, which part 1 will be saved as well while still doing the rest of the videos. And then, of course, once everything else does continue, and also for Christmas, by the way, let's just say I'm going to be mentioning Christmas by saying is like, Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. That's what I might mention too. And yeah, so I guess that's for what's everything's going on and what's going down for recently. So all I can say is this, is that the good news is at least I'm going to be happy and just enjoy what's going to happen soon enough. So like I said, folks and ladies and gentlemen, this is just a reminder of an update that Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted non-VR will be released soon enough on the 16th. And then as in for 2 other videos, I'm actually attending a plan about like how was 2025, and of course with the live stream being mentioned on the 12th, that I'll also mention. But if it gets delayed, I'll move it to the 13th for somehow. That I'll be moving it to I'll be moving it on Saturday or something like that, which I might move on a few different occasions, just to move with the stream. If I don't feel like doing a stream, then I might move it to the 13th, but we'll see. And it just takes time, man. It really fully, definitely takes the time and patience and effort and my timing and effort to make the videos, as I can still do those for years. And as in for the mentions about the figure, by the way, on X, apparently I want to say is this, by the way, is I'm going to pretty much mention is that yeah, I think like I said, I don't have a team right now, which I wish I did have a team, but unfortunately I guess that's going to be a while for me to wait, since I don't know why it's going to take so long to actually just do that and all that crap. But it just takes time again that I might have to get a team soon if I ever do like consider reaching like a lot more. But I guess we just might have to wait at the end of the stick and the barrel just to keep waiting. But you know, it does suck not to get a team, which I know it does really make zero sense, which I pretty much wish I had a team by now. That probably would help me and stuff and just kind of help and just figure every issue what might go on from inside or outside, of course. But I guess I should say that I have to pray a little bit and just do praying for God or however, or just do my prayers and all of this stuff, which even though I might still be getting a little bit often to used to do that, but I say again, it's a little helpful to keep me a little bit motivated and just keep me a little bit motivated and have some faith and hopeness a little bit, just to have a team and just kind of have my back and stuff and, just deal with the faker and get rid of the faker. And I just don't want the faker to continue to keep on slandering my name or just keep on like, I don't know, just like, for example, talking shit about me or whatever. But even though, like I said, that I don't trust ones who are pretty much like specifically bad people, I just don't trust, by the way. Like for those who try to be after me exactly or be against me, that's not cool. That isn't really cool. And plus, by the way, that's called being against a person who is just wanting to like continue to make good stuff and content. That's all I'm saying. And like I said, if the figure does try to believe to say is like, oh, the real one has committed like different things, the answer is false. And I am gonna say this, that I'm gonna try to defend a little bit from it, and just say is that, well, like I said, the figure is but nothing but of an asshole. That's all I'm going to say. That the figure is nothing but of an asshole and just a jackass. That, a person just doesn't want to listen. That, there's going to be times like this that I don't give a shit and may give a shit sometimes a little bit. But, in humans, for most likely for everybody, we're all different at this point, just to probably mention from there and there. But like I said, I would rather spend my life, I would rather just enjoy my life and have a good life. And plus, at this point, yeah, I really am not going to mention any further about with the faker and all, which the faker is just but nothing but a piece of shit, and that's all I'm wanting to say. And once I do have a team soon, then it'll be set to be done, and then the faker is off. So, again, all I'm going to say this, folks, is that even if I don't have a team yet, trust me, I'm still going to try to wait until I have that someday. But right now, I don't think it's ever time to have Beyonce yet or whatever that's going to be, which I know I'm being sarcastic. I just learned it from a Chef Pee idea that he said was like about a Beyonce thing that he mentioned. Like, go ahead and watch it because I already reacted to it about was like, oh, Bowser Jr.'s Capri Sun re-uploaded version. Which, yeah, I think he already made a few bit of good sense. But as it for late, I want to say is that hopefully that the faker will be reported and will be off ever. So for those, by the way, who don't want to listen to the faker, do not listen to the faker. Do not listen to any word that the faker ever says or believes anything to say anything. The faker is but nothing but a troublemaker and nothing but a complete, asshat, which I'm not saying to myself. I'm just saying the faker is the fake version of me. So for those who actually do or don't believe the faker, then don't trust the faker ever on X because, it's all about lies. I don't want to hear any BS shit that I don't want to hear about. And no, I don't want to cause drama or anything. I don't want to hear any of that, by the way. I'm just saying is I want to warn you guys, again, is do not believe the lies, what the faker says, or impossibly. However, not to be fooled by the faker. It's all but lies and lies. And remember, by the way, what the true answer is, I'm into women. That's it. Nothing else about my sexuality. That's just it. So, all I'm saying is that the faker is just a complete BS, nothing but piece of crap. So, I know I'm just trying to say my words a little bit different, but sometimes I just have a disability just to keep explaining or saying anything. But, I won't go any further by 20 minutes in this video. All I'm just saying is just be aware and do not believe the faker, what the faker says. The faker is an asshole and will always be one. So, like I said, this is a reason why I don't trust bad people enough to actually just be complete assholes, which I don't trust any bad people, which I'm not saying to you guys. I'm just saying that there are going to be some bad people in worlds, by the way, like this kind of world that some are going to be assholes. And I won't trust a single penny or any of that. So, like I said, hands down, conversation over. No drama means nothing. And like I said, I don't give a shit. So, anyway, let's just move right along with the update and move this over with. And I definitely wanted to get this over my chest and just explain this a little bit of a heads up a little bit just to say is that, well, don't be fooled what the faker tells you or the faker believes to say anything against to the person. Is just remember, do not believe a single word what the faker says on X or whatever. Again, it's just a bunch of shit lies that no one doesn't want to believe in about. Because I mean, for me, I've been a right person the whole time. Because I mean, why have I been smart this whole time? The answer is I always have been smart, not been a dumbass. I mean, I know I might pretend to play along with it, but like I said, in the end, nobody doesn't want to mess a person like me because I am an honest person that actually cares on YouTube, that I care about making a lot more often in the future, that I care about and will be doing further. So, like I said, conversation over, conversation zipped, and conversation off. So, like I said, the faker is an idiot, and don't believe what he says or what the faker says anyway. The faker is just but nothing but trouble, and don't believe any word that he says. So, like that being said, hopefully to say so at last. Thank you guys again for understanding, and yes, without further ado, the update will begin soon shortly, and will definitely rise and rise again, that it will be ready soon enough. So like that being said, thank you guys again for watching. Please be sure to give this video a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. Anyways, like that being said, it's time I'm going to go to bed, and it's time I'm going to sign off. And just remember this, by the way, one lesson we learned today is never trust bad people. Never trust fake Devin-Foxy fans who are going to just be bad people. So remember, for those who have something against me, I actually prefer to stay silent. And I just prefer not to give a crap. I prefer to ignore it because it's just going to cause fire. It's just going to cause BS drama that no one wants to talk about and no one wants to actually just go for it. So, like I said, the claims, by the way, are false. Just remember, by the way, I definitely did recently looked on a few different things. I'm going to say that the faker is an asshole. And the claims about against me are all false. Just remember that they're all false. Okay? They're just false. Not true. Just false. So, yeah. And like I said, the faker is an idiot. And I'm not going to say anything else but any further the questions. But I'm just going to say this, that thank you guys for watching, and it's time to announce that on 16th, that part 1 will be released. So thank you. Without that being said, I'm going to get going and definitely go to bed, and yeah, so thank you for watching. Take care, sign off, peace out, and goodbye. And plus, I will get a team soon to deal with the faker soon enough to get rid of the person on X as of right now. So don't worry about what's going to happen soon. You just may never know. It may be later. It may be years, days, weeks, months, or whatever it'll be. It'll just be a bit unfortunate. Or maybe be like a very much likely a seeable and unseeable future. Who may knows? By the way, it depends if I get a team or not, but I'm just trying to say that once I do have a team, then I'll have my team to probably go after the faker on X and have the person off and removed, so that way that the faker doesn't continue to keep on like ruin my representation and ruin my vision and ruin everything else I do. And for those that I want to say that yes, the faker has stolen my channel art. That yes, the faker has stolen my channel art, and the faker also stolen my icon, by the way, on my profile pic, but switched to something different, which I know it may not count, by the way, but it just changed differently on a different picture. But like I said, again, that the person of a faker, if the impersonator, is but nothing but shit. Okay? Don't listen to a single word that the person will say. It's just lies, 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 more lies. So don't listen to it. Just put earplugs on and don't try to listen to it. They're all false. I like women. I always will love women. no matter what I'm going to say. Every time is true, not false. And the person could lie, all the person could lie about someone's teeth all they want, but all I'm saying is it's just false. Nothing to back up but shit, but it's just false. Anyway, that's all I want to mention about for a few minutes and just say that they're all false, not true. They're all false. And again, I've always been a smart person, not a dumb person, but even if I have a different role to change or different ways to explain my expressions, then that's all I'm saying. But as of for right now, I am going to sign off and just get going. And without that being said, here's the 4 things you guys got to do before we sign off is like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. Anyways, we'll see you guys next time, and we'll see you on the 16th, by the way, of part 1 of FNAF Help Wanted non-VR. And we'll also see you guys on the on the 11th of December, and of course the 12th or 13th, to have a live stream on my phone. And then, of course, as long as it's a good stream with no drama, that's all I'm going to talk about. And as in for the, on the 11th, I'll be mentioning how many good years I've been enjoying so far in 2025. That's what I'm also going to mention too. So, anywho, I'll see you guys next time. Absolutely, in the next video. Bye-bye. See you next time. Peace off and sign out. So, with that being said, I'm going to get going and sign off once more again. Is that I'll see you next time, and pretty much. So thank you. Have a good day. Have an amazing day, and have an amazing night. And we'll see you guys absolutely in the next video. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and just work out tomorrow, and I'll pretty much see you next time. However, and whoever of whatever is going to happen in the next time. So that being said, don't forget the 11th. I'll be mentioning about the, predictions of 2025 of how 2025 was a good year or maybe somewhat of a bad year. But as in for the 12th or maybe the 13th of the stream on my phone, I'll also be talking about 2, and I'll probably work that up a little bit and see if it just kicks in a little bit to see if it's good or not. But we'll see by any notice. And also, as in further for another question I actually want to be mentioning too, is that don't forget on the 16th on Tuesday, like next Tuesday, that part 1 will be released of Friends of Freddy's non-VR Help Wanted. Will also come around soon. So, anyway, goodbye everyone. I probably can't stay here for a little longer, but I'm just going to get going. So thank you, goodbye, and sign out. Peace on out. Later, and see you next time. Bye-bye everyone. See you later, and goodbye.